Hi there, and welcome to another camera review. Today we have the Voigtlander Vito CLR. This is a German rangefinder camera produced in the mid-60s by Voigtlander, which I really like that company. The C is the series of camera. The L in the name stands for light meter. And you can see here that there is a little reflective light meter here. And it's read out on the top here through this little gauge, and so you change your settings until the red and the white line up. And the really cool thing about this is that it doesn't use any batteries. It is a reflective light meter, so it's not going to be as accurate as, say, an incidence meter, but it is fairly accurate for me. When I first got it, it wasn't as accurate in bright situations, and I'm not sure if these things warm up and start to work after being dead for a while, but mine now is actually very accurate when I compare it with my incident light meter. There is a R in the name as well, which stands for rangefinder. And this is a rangefinder camera. As you can see the viewing area here. I really like the rangefinder on this camera. When you look through, it's very bright, and it has frame guides, which not all rangefinders have. And focusing is very easy on it. You just twist here and you match up the images in the center, and it's got a pretty bright patch in the center there. It's not always easy to do in the dark, but that's true with most rangefinders. This is one of the few in this series that are rangefinders. This is a later one in the series. The previous ones were range focus cameras. So this is a little bit of a development in the series. The way that the knobs on the front here work is you push in on this little button here to set your ASA, and this will allow your light meter to know what setting you have. So you click on that and you can twist that around. But then without having that clicked in, this will set your shutter speed. So you have 15 bulb up to 500 on your shutter speed here, and then this ring on the very base here sets your f-stop. And as you do that, you can actually see your meter, the little red knob on your meter changing. And so you just want to line up that little red pointer with the white indicator knob, and that'll tell you that you're in a proper exposure there. The focus ring is right on the front here. That's not always super convenient, but it's not bad. It works well. The shutter release is right on the front here. To me, I kind of wish this was up top. I do find myself pushing and kind of tweaking the camera a bit when I press on that shutter. On the top, I feel like you have a bit more leverage. I mean, that doesn't happen so much. You're able to hold the camera stable, whereas here it kind of twists a bit when you do that. But it's all right. If you hold on tight, you can come out with some pretty sharp images. That's the shutter there. There's a crank right here on the back, and you pull that through, and it's pretty smooth. If you pull too fast, at least on this old version of mine, it can slip sometimes, so I try to be pretty cautious of that. There's some other little quirks about this camera. Sometimes I get some sort of softness around the edges, and I think that's related to the leaf shutter maybe not being super accurate at different shutter speeds, although the exposure for me has always worked out well. It's just that I do get some blurriness around the edges. In other times, I'll get completely sharp from corner to corner on the frames, so it leads me to believe that it's a certain shutter speed that maybe I shoot at. There is a little button here that when you press it, pops up. This is for rewinding your film, and I think that is so cool. I haven't seen sort of like a mechanical sort of mechanism like this before. And you basically twist here to rewind your film. I'm not going to do that right now. I do have film in here, but I just think that's so cool. When you do that, it pops up, it disengages the film, and then you start to twist, and you can rewind your film all the way. You want to be careful because you can slide this up to pull your film reel out, and if you accidentally kind of slide it up while you're rewinding, you might actually think that you've fully rewound your film when you haven't, and then you end up popping your back open, and you're, got your film pulled across the plane, and you're going to expose part of your roll. It's happened to me once or twice, and now I've learned not to do that. But it's just something to be aware of. It's just a very cool feature, I think. It has a standard mount here for sticking into a tripod. It also has a frame counter, which you need to sort of set when you're done or starting a new roll, but it usually will line itself up pretty well if you're shooting 36 exposure rolls. When you pop out a new roll and put another one in, it lines up almost perfectly. If you're shooting 24 exposure rolls, you usually have got to set this each time. It's not hard. It works out easily. I haven't yet tried to use a flash on this, but it is a leaf shutter camera, so presumably your flash will work from shutter speed 15 all the way up to 500, and it does have a sync port there for you. It's a really beautiful camera. It's one of my favorite cameras to shoot with. After I've gotten it, I've been shooting with it, even though I feel like it's not as reliable as some of the other cameras that I've shot recently, like the Fed camera. I still just really enjoy the process of shooting with the camera. I got it with this little leather pouch, and these are beautiful. I like to have these. They aren't always the smallest or most compact, but with a camera that doesn't really have hooks to latch on the side, you kind of need something like this to carry it around, otherwise you're going to drop it on the ground. But yeah, the Vito CLR from Voigtlander is just a beautiful camera. I'll show some pictures here at the end, and you can comment and let me know what you think about this camera. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. I'm going to be releasing more of these.